months.
And Cosby went in.
Yes, or convicted. There was some animal crazy action on the 4 train here in New York, MTA. We can talk about that. And Janelle Monáe has a new album coming out, and she also came out of the closet too. I don't know, the regular closet or it's like
what type of closet is it now?
Well, no, it's just there really shouldn't be a closet. Did you see the movie Love, Simon? Who saw that? Anyone see it?
No.
Okay, well it's out now, and I actually thought it was gonna be really bad, and I was like, I had no expectations, right? But I saw it, and it actually was really good because it showed high school struggles with like being American, and then also showed like if you're gay and like just dealing with awkwardness and like friend group and everything like that. And in the movie, it talks about how if you're straight, you should have to come out because it shouldn't be the default that it is that. Whereas like gay people or the LBG, the whole community is put under this like framework where they're like, oh, I have to reveal myself, but it's like, why can't they just live their lives?
It's funny because all the gay guys I knew was just gay. Now it's a political thing, so I don't know.
What do you mean?
My gay friends. Well,
everybody
knew they were gay.
Oh,
there was nobody bothered them.
Right.
You went to it was a sexual thing, and that was it. Nobody really made a big thing in my community. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing now is that they're trying. We're as a community, as a society, trying to make it not a thing.
Well, some of them could fight too, so very well.
Well, I don't know. I don't do that. But no, it's a thing now where we're trying to include everybody, and make it seem like it shouldn't be a barrier,
Yeah.
But also owning yourself and being like, oh, this is my community. I can be involved in this, and march in the parade or go to specific bars that are like that, or just have friends who are all different walks of life, So we're going to talk about that.
Whatever's your business is your business.
Yeah.
Kind of say.
We're going to talk about that and a bunch of other things, so stay tuned. We also have some cool guests tonight. Part of Goldmine, also Goldilocks and Travis Fender coming on stage.
Yeah, I was up 2 o'clock in the morning listening to the song.
Yeah? Did you like them?
Yeah, they got some nice friends.
I really like them too. I see them live a few times.
Okay.
I know them well. We'll see about that. But you can call in if you want to later in the show at 917-747-5991. You can post comments on our Facebook page, Instagram. It's at TSE Exclusive. And also to have your music played on our show in between commercials, whatever, you can email us at tseexclusive@gmail.com. So, now.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to go into videos.
How's it going? Who is a multi-talented artist from Southern Florida originally, lives here in Brooklyn, New York, and is pursuing acting and music. He's currently in a play, which we're going to talk about. But first, we're going to talk about our topics. So, let's talk about Meek Mill. So he finally got out of jail. He was in jail for 5 months in Pennsylvania. And how do we feel about this?
I feel he shouldn't have been in jail in the first place. To me, I think a lot of the rappers have a whole squad of cops that follow them. And I believe he went for riding a motorcycle or something like that. What did he go to jail for?
I think he was in New York. He was he popped a wheelie.
Yeah, he popped that wheelie.
And then he got arrested for that. And that was like, I think that was the last straw, I believe.
Yeah, but come on.
It's crazy. Yeah, like off of that.
And it wasn't even his bike. It
wasn't
even his bike. Yeah.
But I think all the charges led up to another snowballed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's how they all work.
But I mean, if you think about it from a business standpoint, because that's what the law enforcement is, a business.
Whoa,
what?
Did
Who
you
said
hear
that?
that?
Okay. Anyway, what about all the publicity that Pennsylvania is getting right now? Literally, we're talking about it right now, and all the news headlines with Meek Mill, like they are making money. Their news reporters are out. Think about it. They are out the prisons, waiting, taking photos, whatevering.
Yeah, that's
I'm sure.
right.
Like, I mean,
That's right,
I don't know if you guys watch Orange is the New Black, but I want to be on that show. I love that show. One day, just wait. Yeah, if it's still filming, I'll make my own, whatever. But and the show, when they have a celebrity, they had, what was her name, Judy, the redhead. I don't even remember the chef. It was like a big deal. So I'm sure in the jail, like, it was a spectacle, to have a celebrity. With social media now, I know you're not supposed to use social media and like it's supposed to be old fashioned. But I mean, let's just be honest. It still is accessible, obviously. But prison's probably making money right now with news reports, publicity, photos, paparazzi.
Even if it's thousands of dollars, it's money.
I mean,
Right.
media and advertisement is like one of the biggest businesses right now. So it's like even Meek Mill, one way or another, is making money off of this too. And that's a crazy thing because of this digital age and all of the, you know.
And not only are we talking about it, but Jay-Z is rapping about it. He rapped about it in his new album.
Really?
Other rappers are talking about it. I still haven't heard the album because I don't have Tidal. I'm really mad at him for making that app, but it's okay. One day I'll hear it, maybe at a bar when it's playing.
Jay-Z's album?
Too loud. Yes.
Oh, it won't play at a bar, but I got you.
Okay.
I'll let you listen.
I mean, I was just mad at him because, like, I don't know if you saw the Grammys, but he just looked so miserable because, you know, it's his city, New York.
Yeah.
It was like 60th, big year, you know, or no, it was older than that. No, 90th or 60th?
60.
It
I
was
think
60.
it's
It was
60.
60. I was
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
60th year. He's in the front row. He looks miserable. His album songs got nominated so many times.
Yeah.
He didn't win one. But let's think about it. Why he
That
didn't.
hurts. That hurts.
Well, I mean, you put it on a platform that's so exclusive, not TSE exclusive, but exclusive in other ways. And it's like, no, not everyone can listen to that, you know?
Right.
That's facts.
Like, you can have Spotify for free and listen to things. Not
That's
on
right,
demand, you
yeah.
can.
Right.
Apple Music, they changed it where it's really weird. But, I mean, the title, it's very
It's tight.
cornered
Yeah,
and,
you're
like,
not getting in the
elitist.
title.
And also, titles only really, I mean, it's basically for hip-hop artists. People who only listen to hip-hop are, you know, they're going to use title, but they want to use other things, too. Like, I mean, I listen to hip-hop, but I like to listen to classical music, too, so I want to be able to have all of
yeah.
that.
I do disagree with that because Tidal does provide other platforms for other genres as well.
But they started out as hip hop, and they've been marketing themselves as hip hop.
Nah, because a lot of pop and R&B artists were also involved in the making.
You think?
No,
Oh, you know,
it's a
Rock
fact.
Nation,
Like,
yeah?
it's a fact. Like, you know,
Because I only see them as hip hop because I feel like
because the face is Jay-Z, but there
Maybe
were a
that's
lot of
why.
artists who came together and actually like invest. I don't know if y'all remember them pictures. I can't remember exactly who was in it, but it was like everybody. It was like a gang.
Yeah.
It was like title for the artists because they get paid more money off of them
to
streams.
promote, yeah, of
So
course.
it's even like with our music out, you know, like we would love to promote on Tidal, but we know most people don't have Tidal. But we are on Tidal, you know what I
No,
mean?
I remember you
need
telling me that, and I
we
was
need-
like,
we need
okay.
that Tidal money. You feel me?
Right.
Only Locks and Travis Fender.
Right.
Like, you know,
Wait,
like,
can I ask you something?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I am not a musician, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
But I'm always curious about streaming because I'm old fashioned. Everyone who knows me knows I have an iPod. I still use my little iPod, my regular old fashioned original iPod that has 160 gigabytes. We already know this.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's old fashioned. I'm a walking museum. It's okay. It's cool. But like streaming, I have it. Yeah, I have Spotify. I finally like paid for it as of this year. And I'm curious how artists are making more money off of it as opposed to like having records or albums, you know? How does it work? 'Cause I know Taylor Swift and Adele had a little argument with a little tiff with Spotify, if you remember, like they wanted to, you know, put out their album, but they wanted to make it delayed so that no one who had streaming could use
So
it.
really, the main thing is like distribution and accessibility to the music. So it's like the internet.
Exactly.
You know, it's so
Exactly.
easy for someone to just go on a website. Boom, YouTube, so accessible. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's important to have your music on these platforms.
Right.
But it's like when you get to a certain point, when you're like Taylor Swift, for example, like literally, she cannot put her stuff on and still sell. Like she'll have
Of course.
UPS, she'll partner with them.
Yes, I know.
have
It's
her-
so weird.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's levels. It really is. But I think it also does come down to because we have this thing, and also the record industry was like
Dying,
like
I
it was
know.
dying because of the
I
internet,
know.
because of like illegal downloading
Right,
and
pirate
LimeWire
Hold
and
on.
all that.
Illegal downloading. There's no such thing as illegal downloading. It was available.
Oh, it was available. I mean,
Back
like,
in the day,
hey,
if I made
hey,
a
look,
tape for
everybody
you,
did
it was
it.
good to
Look,
go.
I did it. Like I still
made
do it.
Now they call
I do it less.
illegal downloading, illegal duplication is if I
But
make a
here's the
tape for
thing.
you,
Yeah.
that's now illegal. Come
Right,
on.
but so as an artist, you know, like, and that's a big thing. Like, artists wanted to be paid for what they were doing, and this was at a time.
That's why.
Like,
They weren't getting enough money from the records.
Well, I mean, they weren't selling records. They were now
Right.
either like hoping for people to buy their ringtones, or they,
Right,
were,
right.
you know,
That's
or they
what
were
I
trying to
remember.
have like
TBT to ringtone.
the single, like, you know,
Love me a good ringtone.
people stop buying albums. That's
Right.
just a
But
fact.
albums just faded
What was
out.
the other one?
That's
No,
what-
there was ringtone and what is it? It's the waiting music. It's like
when you call somebody.
Service.
What's it called? I
don't
forgot.
know.
But now people
I
still
never
have
did.
it. Remember?
never
Now
did
it's just the default class. It's like dun 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 dun. Remember that? Whatever. I no one remembers that.
But
Yeah, the ring back.
Bring back!
I know
Bring back,
exactly
bring
what
back.
you're
Bring
talking
back! Bring
That's
back!
There's
Please
so
enjoy
many-
this ride.
so
So
many
bring back.
Tell them all your party is
Bring
free.
back.
for everything, but yeah.
Bring back! Bring back!
All right.
So okay, so you're saying when you're an artist and you use streaming, do you make money every time the song is played or every time the song is downloaded? How does that work?
So
I'm very curious.
Yeah, for sure. For downloading, of course. So like we make more
Downloading
money.
offline or regular line.
So
like,
we
how does
make
it work?
more money like if you went to like iTunes or
Uh-huh.
if you went to what's another one like Amazon.
Okay.
No
one uses
Google Play,
Amazon.
Google Play.
iPhone
I'm sorry,
team, but it's cool.
I was thinking like Google Play, like something like that. You know,
Amazon
like
too.
Amazon too. We on Amazon. We on all that.
Yeah.
But you know, you download the songs.
Okay.
Like we get. Yes, it's
So-
like you bought that. So
Regardless if I download it online or offline, you still make money.
it's like, I mean,
It's the same amount of money.
no, it's not.
We're not talking about Spotify.
So if you're streaming, you make a lot less money than if you bought it. Like if
Right.
you purchased.
If it's mine,
Right.
right?
But I mean, if someone was to stream it like hundreds and hundreds of times, I mean that those 0.002 cents add up. You know.
So
what
that's
I mean?
why Taylor Swift and Adele wanted to not put it on.
Yeah,
Spotify
because they want their money. They want what
wanted people to
they
buy
want.
it.
They want what their
Old-fashioned.
music is worth.
Right.
For in their mind. You know what I mean? I mean like.
I mean, I respect them for that, but
yeah.
at the same time, I mean, they have such a name that they can do that, you know. Or
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like
Which is
literally
great.
Taylor Swift can like have UPS drive. She could partner with UPS, which is what she did.
So
She wasn't on for like 2
It's
months.
so funny.
I think it was like I'm not sure, but it was a while before she was on streaming.
No, yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah. She
'Cause-
she can afford to do that.
That was
like
cool.
you know, up and coming artists, independent artists. I mean, it's a different story. Like
That's
some
a whole
people,
different story.
some
Right.
people will sell out the back from the
Exactly.
back of their truck.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, in this day and age, I think the best thing for me, and me and Goldie in particular, is to like definitely
Music partner. We're gonna interview later.
Oh yeah, Goldie. Yeah, but the big thing for us is that you know we're hitting all these platforms because
Right.
like what we go like where we getting this money from these CDs for we don't
You're not.
we
You're
yeah
not.
we got to make this money
Right.
off the internet first.
Right.
You know, get our music money up.
Right.
I mean, we both got our other ventures going
Show
on too.
money.
We got that show money coming.
Wait, so just to clarify, you're
Yeah.
on Spotify,
Yeah.
Tidal. How I feel about that, we already know. Amazon
Yes.
Music,
Google
That exists.
Play.
Google Play,
all
iTunes,
of them.
Apple Music.
It's
Apple
like-
Music, iTunes, same thing, right?
It's like
Is
all
it?
of them except Pandora.
Oh,
Except
Yeah.
Pandora.
R.I.P.
No, we don't.
Why aren't you on Pandora?
Because
That
our
was my
distrib-
OG
that's-
streaming
our
life,
distribution
guys.
deal just didn't.
I love
doesn't
my
partner with
Pandora. That's when I like really.
You have to pay a
Got
price
involved.
for
We
Pandora.
well,
No.
I mean, we could
do iHeartRadio.
we could do another distribution deal, but the one that we went with just worked out better for us, so it was a smarter move.
Yeah.
And they didn't include Pandora, but that's all right because if you go on Pandora, you can't even like really
I heard
pick
it's
your
not that.
song.
Yeah,
You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
you're right.
They're
It's
like
like
It's a
shuffle.
playlist.
it's like
Yeah.
Spotify not.
So
premium.
how did they pick the song?
I
You
mean,
just skip.
like you pick an artist, and it will give you that artist,
It's
and then people
old
that sound
before-
like that artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, I see
But
that.
it's
I
even
see
our
that,
music.
yeah.
Like we got so many different sounding music. Like we don't have a sound.
Right,
Like
you guys
in particular, and also
Exclusive.
we like started really recently. Like we've been working
Yeah.
together for about a year.
Mhm.
So it's like
Right.
you know, like even now, Spotify will play some like random hillbilly
Right,
ass
and
shit.
it doesn't. They
Oh,
don't
no,
know. They don't know where to
like,
put you.
yeah.
It's kind of like the Weeknd when he first started out. They didn't know what to put him in pop, alternative, rock, hip hop, whatever. But I think that's really important because that makes you not only stand out
Mm.
first. It makes you original, and I think it makes you more marketable in the day and age that we are in now in 2018. When the whole ethnically ambiguous, different casting is really in because you're like nobody else. You know, like you don't want to
Yeah.
be the next blank. You
No,
want to
oh,
be
yeah,
the
never
first and the only Travis Fender / Goldie / you know, whatever.
Yeah,
you
Goldmine,
want to
like,
be.
we're not
period.
emulating.
Yeah, but
You know?
that's
That's really cool.
when you're an artist, you're always trying to be your own type of artist.
Right.
But then you have to you have a conflict with business. Artists have
Right.
always had a conflict with business.
That's
They
why
can
Madonna
never
doesn't get along
create.
with Lady Gaga. She hates being compared to her.
Mm.
Ariana Grande and Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey hates being compared because she wants to be her own self, and that's respectable. But at the same time, when two artists do sound similar styles, we do have to acknowledge it. In the same way that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, I don't really know what's going on. No one really
yeah.
does, but the media likes to say a lot of stuff
Right.
about it.
People
They-
like
yeah,
people
drama.
like
Notice how there's all
controversy.
women. I
Yeah.
just
That's just what
Because
it
they
is.
think
We
that
love
sells.
we love controversy.
Wait, pause. Sorry.
What's up?
Every single person I just mentioned, the media had a problem with. Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Madonna, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. They're all women.
Well,
Do I see a connection here?
Well, I mean, the
There's
media
always
does.
drama when there's women.
That's what I'm saying.
The media loves
Well,
to
I
pit
don't
women
know.
Right.
against each
I
other.
Why
gotta
can
defend
women-
it
But I will
because
also say
you got to understand the rappers were already doing it. The women were not. They were considered on a well. Put
A
it like
sideline.
this.
Now they're not.
They were considered peaceful. So now
Still
that the women market, because if you look at who are they targeting? The woman market. What is the most powerful market at this present time? Women. The women market
The
was
time
first
has
the
come.
children, and now it's the women market. So what are they going to do? They're going to get two rivals. That's only natural in business.
Yes, it's national business, but have we not noticed that the media pins women against each other more often than they do men? I mean,
yeah.
Meek Mill and Drake had their little times, but
What
I mean,
about
did that really
Tupac
go
and
anywhere?
Biggie?
Not really.
I mean, but
That was like
Jay-Z and
forget
Nas.
it. Oh,
But-
that went on for.
I mean,
Forever,
but,
generations.
but we could go
That- you
some
know,
of these,
that-
but,
it
but
went
these are
out.
Wait,
these are
go
not
ahead.
personal
Go
things
ahead.
we're talking about. Like we're talking like media, these media beefs, like comparing like two celebrities and being like, oh, bada boom, bada bing. Like for example, like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, like they was never talking smack about each
Yeah,
other.
I've never
It was
seen
everybody
one
like
difference.
insinuating.
Right.
But for Jay-Z and Nas, it was literally on some like, yo, who's the king of New York type.
Right,
So it's
right,
it's
right.
Right.
totally different. But also it's like we like I was saying before, like we as a people, like we love we want to see that. We want to see people
I know.
fighting controversy
Exactly.
and all that. You know what I
Sensationalizing
mean?
everything.
Even like we thrive off of that. That's the most Google stuff right now. Like you see fights or who's beefing with who, all
Right.
that. And I mean, you know, it speaks
It
volumes to
said
the
bad
society.
news is
but
news.
it speaks volumes
Yeah.
to our times
Yeah.
and the society. But you know,
It's
we'll
just
see,
super
we'll see
vicious.
what's up.
And that's what it is for this day and time. It's not a gender thing. It's just that in order to sell, this is what the market expects to.
I
put
still
out
do think
there.
it's a gender thing, though. I'm sorry, but I think it is.
I
Cat
think
fight
it
sell.
I just think that
Cat
like,
fight sell. They sell.
I mean, look.
If they didn't
It is a
sell,
gender thing.
they wouldn't be up there.
but why do you
If
think
they didn't sell.
Why do you think they sell? I'm
Because
curious.
It's a
More
fight.
so than when
It's
than
always
that.
a fight. It's a fight. A fight. Everybody, come on,
It's
3
a
o'clock.
fight.
There's going to be a fight. The whole school finds out,
Mm.
and everybody stays after. Even the good kids stay after.
We'll look at
Right.
it. Yeah.
So all you have to do is find the two people that's willing to fight. Look at the McGregor and Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's not that okay. A lot of people that was in the boxing wanted to see it, but
Mhm.
people that didn't even know anything about
They
boxing
was-
just
they
wanted
was
to see
trying-
this
yeah,
fight. It was a
because
big
people was
fight,
talking
and when you
about
got two strong people, whether
And
they men or they're women, that's gonna sell. And Cardi B, just like Madonna said, Madonna started this whole controversy thing. She came out,
with the burning.
yeah, she started all that branding with bad news. Before it wasn't like that. You had to be a good girl. And then when it came out, the excitement is that
I mean, that's
you
that's
got
true,
two
yeah.
women.
I mean, look at all the Disney
Yeah.
stars who are
Exactly.
like Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
I watched her in Wizards of Waverly Place, and
Man, and
she's
who's
no
the
longer
other one?
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Who's the other one swinging on everything, dildos and everything?
Oh, Miley Cyrus.
Miley
She's calmed
Cyrus,
down now,
yeah.
okay? Relax.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
attack
she
her.
did-
Well,
Miley's
calm
been through a
down.
lot, okay?
That's-
Wait a minute, you got a
I-
whole history
I think the
that's
funny-
on film.
That's true, but
She
people
had her
people
time,
people grow
okay?
and people change. But what I will say
I
is
They
like
do.
Miley.
like all this you know artists like just kind of
They're coming
pitting
to their
pe-
own.
but also like pitting people
Yeah.
pitting these people against each other. I kind of lost my thought. I'm a little tipsy. Like
You're
You're a
good.
little tipsy. No, don't.
this
Cut
wine,
that,
this
cut
that
that.
pink wine was pretty. But anyway,
And the
No,
pink
like-
wine is by this one of our sponsors.
oh yeah.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yo, but nah, what I was like alluding to like the beef going on like with
Nicki.
media. Well, with the media, like sparking that shit up. Honestly, I can't even like remember what I was saying. But,
You're good.
like, go ahead.
Regardless,
Jump back
is
to
that
what was,
we see that women are pinned against each other more often in the media than men, and it's just very interesting. Is all I have to say.
Well, I find it. I find it in the course of life. You know, women are running the houses, and men are running away. So what's the difference?
Men are always running away. That's another story, another show.
To fight another
I'll make
day.
a show about that. Stay tuned, guys.
Oh, she said that's another show, so you will see Sophie by herself.
Because they all ran away.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
will not
Anyway.
be a target.
All right, let's talk about the topic. Actually, no, let's talk about you. I like to talk about
Talk
you.
about me.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so our friend Travis Fender is currently in a play called Black Conference in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn, where you at? Tell us about this play.
So this play is being produced by Falcon Works Theater, Red Hook Theater Company. So I did a production with them last year, which was pretty much about the foundation of race in America, like and how the history of it, like how it began, the science behind it, and also the laws that were put into place. It was a very fascinating experience, and like so the director hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I like wrote this role for you for our next
Wow,
play."
he wrote it for you?
He wrote it for me.
That's amazing.
And he's like, "But you have to audition."
Oh
and
my
yo, let
God.
me tell you, like I was missing like I couldn't find a day because I was mad bit. I was caught up in this other
Right,
thing.
because you do
But,
music
like-
and acting.
Right, I'm like
I know
literally
you do
juggling.
both.
But like I like you know I finally like was able to
went,
get
yeah.
in there. Like it was like literally 3 weeks after the auditions were, but they already had the rest of the cast, and then so I
Just
did
waiting
it.
on you.
I mean I did it, and it was like boom because it was he's like, "Oh,
Sure.
this is for you," and I mean I prepared it. I did my thing. But anyways, like let me talk about the play, which is a very fascinating just
And it's called
idea.
Black Conference.
Black Conference. So it's basically taking the greatest minds in civil rights history. You know, W.E.B. Du Bois.
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey's not in it, but he is mentioned.
Oh.
Martin Luther King Jr. is in it, but he's 10 years old, and his father is in it as well. So I'm playing Ellsworth Stores Jr. So Ellsworth Stores, which like the character that I'm based off is his son. He was this gentleman in Richmond, Virginia, who helped basically an all-black owned grocery store because the A&P, which was the biggest grocery store at the time, was not hiring black people. So they were like, all right.
I tried to get a job there.
That's funny. We talking about the 40s, but that's funny too. Nah, but they wasn't hiring black people, so they were like, all right, so we're not gonna eat your food. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get together. We're gonna start
That's great.
it's cooperative.
They did that, not they weren't hiring.
Yeah, so that's my character, but the play is all about cooperative economics, and there's always been this idea of cooperative economics in America.
What is cooperative economics for people who do not know?
So basically,
guys?
basically, it's not like a how do you say, like a structured business as we know it, like the pyramid. Think about,
right.
I'll give it to him a picture. Think about a pyramid where you got like the CEO and then you got the grunt workers. Like cooperative economics is when you take together a collective, a group of people who all are like, yo, we are about this cause.
It's like an ensemble
Sure,
theater.
call it an ensemble, and it's really a business, but usually these businesses, especially like nowadays, I mean, back in the day, the reason was to like, yo, we not gonna be oppressed. We're gonna, as a community, we're gonna come together and we're gonna solve the problems that we have.
Be productive about
whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a theater company, whether it's you know a kitchen. You know what I mean? It's about a collective coming together. It's collective bargaining.
Store.
Yeah. So my character's father. Yeah, and I'm representing.
Or they would call it a round robin.
You could call similar to a round robin. I don't want to throw too many vocabulary words out. But the play is dope, and it's all about, like, it's literally like a history class, and also it's an immersive play.
Oh, I'm really into that.
So you walk around, like, throughout the building, and you meet different characters, you get to hang out with us, and then we all go into the conference together, and it's like conference style. Like,
so is it in a traditional theater, or is it like in the round, or
so
what?
when we get into the conference, it's in a traditional theater, and some of the actors, like, the whole time I'm in the theater. Like, I deliver my monologue from the
audience?
Yeah. So it's
That's
pretty
really cool.
it's really cool. So
So it really makes the audience feel like they're
Cats
in
was
it.
like that.
they're in it. Yeah, it's literally like a conference. Like you're coming in and you're
That's
a part
great.
of you're a part of the conference. It's not just a show. It's
I've done
not
some
like
immersive
we're
shows.
kicking our feet. Nothing like
Yeah.
that. It's
No,
literally
really cool.
the greatest minds in civil rights history coming together and chopping it up about cooperative
Cool.
economics
So
and how
Al
we can come
Sharpton in it?
together. Nah. This is so
Yes,
we
artists.
talking about like
So
literally like people from I don't want to say like back in the day, but literally it takes place during a time that it would have happened because this was a real idea that the
Right.
NAACP they had this idea. But it fell through because there was some beef, there was some tension, and you'll see in the play like between some of the characters, some very prominent figures in like Black
Right.
African American
Yeah.
history, Black history, like beefing with each other, and that's the reason why the conference fell through.
So if somebody
Well,
wanted to
don't
get
tell us too
tickets,
much
where would
more.
they
Yeah.
want to
So
get
tell us
tickets?
how we can come see the show and where we can buy tickets.
So you could buy tickets on falconworkstheater.org, also redhooktheater.com,
And brown paper tickets.
brown paper tickets as well. It's on brown paper
And it's
tickets.
called Conference.
Black Conference in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and it's gonna be playing from the 24th of May to the 28th.
Great.
Brooklynites, make sure you get out to see that. That's
Sounds
all
great. I'll be there.
Brooklynites and New Yorkers.
Come on, Philly, Jersey, like Meek Mill, come through. Like
You're
you
out
know.
now. No excuses.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
excuses.
That's right.
Come get
Come
some,
through.
come get this history. You know?
No, but that's amazing. Speaking of immersive type theater, I actually have a piece also coming up this Sunday, 2 days from now,
Yeah.
at 4 o'clock on the Lower East Side at Howell Arts Hell, happening on 6 East 1st Street. It's free. It's 20 minutes long. It's an immersive, experimental performance art, avant-garde, street art, experimental, whatever other word you want to think of. Literally anything else at 4 o'clock, and it's about a relationship with technology, and we also honor the moon in it. So if you want to come and see some cool, like, weird theater, that's a piece that I made with 2 other people, and I have a director, and it was originally my idea, and we collaborated and devised it. So you should come through also. I think I'm really into collaborating and supporting other artists. There's a hashtag that I really like. It's called collaboration over competition that I learned from this podcast that I was on called Love City Arts. Yeah, and I think it's really cool. Like, we want to collaborate. So yeah, stay tuned. Come to his show. Come to my show.
And if you have any comments, make sure you call us at
Yeah, you can call us in too. Go ahead.
747-5991. You can chime in and get into this conversation with this interesting host and with my man Trevor here.
Interesting host. That's what
And that's me. I ain't
Oh,
talking
you're talking about
you.
yourself? All right.
You're the co-host.
And I do want to remind y'all. So the music is definitely there. Y'all could check it out. Goldilocks and Travis Fender
Oh, I'm
on
gonna talk about
all
that.
platforms. Oh, we gonna talk about that too?
Oh, yeah.
We gonna get into that. All right.
You ain't finished.
Okay, my
My
bad.
man closing
We got.
it out.
We just got that music.
He
So
said,
while
I'm
we're on
done.
commercial
I'm
break.
done. I'm
We're
breaking
not
the
done.
Goldilocks.
July
Because I'm a 3-bear.
This
Yo,
man's
let's go.
sleepy. No, yeah, but no, thank y'all for having us out
Oh,
here.
it's a pleasure. It's a
TSE,
pleasure.
it's all love. Like
I really
y'all
appreciate it. We
y'all
really
are-
appreciate it, you know. I said it's a lot of hard work and a lot of artists out there trying to get on a platform. This is the direction where you come. TSE is for the independent artists trying to make it. Tell
They
your
are
story.
making it. We're currently making it.
I feel good, man. Life is great.
Okay,
We
okay.
make it.
We are
yeah.
currently fulfilling our dreams, feeling artistically fulfilled, and living every day to the fullest. At least in my opinion, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I agree with
Nah,
that.
Goldie,
I
we
stand
good,
corrected.
right? we Gucci. Like honestly, life is great, and I'm blessed. And I'm a really
No, I'm not
positive
lucky.
person.
I'm blessed.
I'm a positive-
yes.
I'm a
Well,
positive.
luck is just
Heavyweight
living under
champ.
correct knowledge.
Ooh, ooh. Let me just
Ooh.
repeat that for the
Memorize my
viewers that didn't hear us.
Go ahead.
Jackie, our co-creator, founder, director, whatevering, it's a new word, whatever, and everything. I just made it up. It just said luck is
Living under correct
living
knowledge.
under the correct knowledge.
That's my
There you
pastor's
go.
quote, okay?
Her pastor's quote.
Hallelujah.
A.R. Bernard.
Now I'm an artist too. I collect cans and bottles.
Oh,
And I do
Shut
it often.
up.
Hey, see throw me to the side. She, you know, she even thought I was
I kicked you to the
talking
curb
about
like a real can that you picked up. No, I'm kidding.
Ah, she got
I got
jokes.
you, I got
Oh.
Come to my stand up,
Whoa.
right? Okay, so tell us about your music. So I want to hear about how you got into music.
I've always been into music because my mother always had an eclectic collection of different types of.
Me too.
Like she was just a very vibed out woman with her CDs. Like, and I didn't know this about her necessarily. It's just that I discovered it by just popping everything in. So I like literally I just put all her CDs on my iTunes. I had about there were 10,000 songs. I couldn't even fit them on
You need an iPod.
I couldn't.
Like
I couldn't fit them on my first
pull out
iPod.
my iPod later.
And I just really love music. Like it was even in chorus. Like when I was in elementary school. Like I was always into it. But that shit was when I hit middle school. It was there was a different vibe where it was there were certain things especially growing up in a predominantly black society area community and then with just people being influenced by what they're influenced by. There were certain things that were deemed as cool and uncool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think in middle school I kind of let that get to me, but what it did also is because I was always writing. So I was always rapping. And I it was just singing came after. It really did because I was because at first I was yo, that shit's cheesy, that shit's I would say mad offensive ass shit that you wouldn't say about the type of person that I am now. It's mad funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just honestly you could talk to middle school me and he'd be yo, I would not picture your ass in New York studying musical theater. I came up here and studied musical theater. But when I was in middle school,
that's where I met him.
Not middle school, when I was in high
who
school.
was your inspiration?
Yeah, so when I got to high school, right? So I was doing sports. I was doing football, basketball, and
football, basketball turned into MT. What?
Yeah. So everyone in high school knew I was rapping because I would do mad things, do things over the morning announcements. I remember during.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
No, okay, check me out.
States.
I wrote so
That's a man that takes risk.
No, let me
Wait,
tell
I want
you.
to hear.
Let me tell you.
Okay, wait.
So during it was the anniversary of 9/11, and they wanted someone to do a poem, and
Wow.
I'm yo,
Big deal.
yeah, literally I wrote it 2 days before, and it was bars. I really went in. It was bars in a sense of yo, this is my takeaway from what it was, and it was
Drop some lines, let us hear it.
Honestly,
That was many years ago.
it was and I wouldn't even do it justice, to be honest.
You still got the notes that you wrote down?
I feel it's somewhere.
You can find
maybe
them somewhere.
That's the thing. I've always been writing. I've always just been hearing sounds in my head too. So it's
Once
the drama.
you get into it, it's your end.
It's very it's an addiction.
Yeah.
So the drama director at my school, he was yo, we doing this thing called In the Heights. I'm what the hell is that? That sounds crazy. He let me hear a little bit of it. I'm man, I guess it's all right. And then he was oh yeah, come through, join this musical theater class. We'll have you rapping the whole time. I'm all right, as long as I can rap. I'd love to be in a class where I can rap. That was not the case. So I did this In the Heights show, which was dope. It was really cool. And I learned a lot. And then they were about to do Rent. And I'm man, I'm not doing Rent. I used to watch that, but now that's something I would laugh at in my at the time. But
Right.
I ended up doing it, and I got one of the leads, and then my life changed. Literally, I was yo, I'm gonna sing, and then I started playing instruments and whatnot. And it's my whole perspective, everything flipped because it's all these things that I was rejecting, that have always been a part of me.
Yeah.
It's always been cool because it's me. It's just naturally who I was I
I
mean, I
you
was
were meant
hiding
to
away.
be with these things, and you were.
I was very I feel I got all my anxiety and shyness and shit like that out in high school and middle school because I was not being me.
There
you
it
know
goes
what I mean?
again. That shyness is what makes creativity the best.
Yeah, I mean I believe it because I was literally holding it in until I was
Yeah.
yo, you know what,
Yeah.
this shit, a lot of people on some corny shit, where I'm from. And no disrespect to any sets of gangs or anything like that, but that shit was not a good, it was not a good look where I'm from. A lot of motherfuckers, a lot of my good friends, are in not the best situations, and then it's they always look at me and it's yo, man, you made it, you're inspiring, on some real shit. So it's I know also I'm representing like just this idea, like this mentality of like no matter what your circumstance, your environment is, like, yo,
yeah, but
you got as an individual, you got to manifest.
Yeah.
You know
I think it all comes down to the fire that burns within you. I made that up. But,
Okay.
no, seriously, I think it like has to do with that. Like, okay, so I'll be up. Like, I went to an EPA yesterday, equity principal audition for acting. You know how that is. And I like got there at 5:45 in the morning, and then I got home at like 11:30 at night, and I didn't take a nap, and I didn't have a coffee, whatever. And I somehow stayed awake and did my thing. And I really think that the art that burns within me, the yearning to make art and create and collaborate and make a difference in the world and tell these stories,
Right.
whether it's through music or art or film or theater, whatever, I think it really does like somehow biologically overcome what a human can do. It's like a superhuman power.
No, for sure.
You know, it's like you feel it inside of you, you know? And
Yeah.
it just needs to be fed.
Like even now, like me and Goldie, like we live in the studio. We be in the studio, like making music every day. Like literally hitting the boards, like spitting on the mic, like just like throwing. And we got mad songs. Like we got mad songs we're about to drop too. But like we work, and it's like it's not even work. It's like just our natural like output.
It's expressing yourself.
It's home.
Yeah.
It's literally home.
It really is.
That's great. Yeah.
Tell us about how you're a teaching artist.
Oh, okay.
And what is it?
So a teaching artist, and I think like any artist out there, it's the best thing because it's the best way to give back to young kids, the community. So as a teaching artist, I never even considered it, but I was in this class in college, and the teacher of the class, it was a jazz class, and the teacher, his name is Eli Yeaman, and he has this program called Jazz Power, and Jazz Power is all about like literally spreading the culture, like and not even spreading, but like celebrating the culture of jazz that we like really like it flies over a lot of people's heads, but it's really like all about. It's in our hearts. It's American music. This is the foundation of all the music that we listen to now.
Right.
So it's like I did a workshop with them, and then it was their summer institute, which I invite all artists to. And then from there, like he was like, "Yo, you're perfect for this. Let me hire you to like work with kids." So I've been working with kids. I've been working in senior centers. So different places. So I've been up in the Palace Theater. Up in United Palace Theater, working with kids recently.
You teach them theater or music?
Jazz music. These kids in particular. These kids. Oh yeah. Like dancing, singing, like a bunch of different things.
You teach a variety
culture,
of
history. Yeah.
Back in the days, these used to call it culture.
Yeah, and then I'm also a part of this. I'm a part of this this group called Brata, which is a Caribbean Brata. So Brata.
Are you on YouTube?
Cool.
Am I on YouTube?
With the Brata.
You know what? I'm new to the group, so they probably have videos, but I'm not in them.
Okay.
So they're a folk singing group, but it's also a Caribbean-based organization. So I'm also working with them. And so I'm teaching in senior centers with them, and I'm teaching like Caribbean folk songs and things like that. So I'm
really cool.
I'm all about the culture, man. I love jazz, and I love like to express my Jamaican roots as well. So and I've also been learning.
Is that
a
your
lot,
full roots? What else are you?
So
if I can ask.
Oh, of course. Both my parents are from Jamaica. I'm from South Florida, Pembroke Pines, Broward County. That's north of Miami. And
did you see the Florida Project?
The Florida Project. What? That's the movie. Nah. I saw Moonlight.
That was last year. Anyway, you see the Florida Project. You're from Florida. I think it's really well done. It shows the poverty of Florida right around Disney World and how people think Disney World's very touristy, and it actually shows how like.
Oh yeah. Nah, Orlando got some hoods. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the girl in it, Brianna Vinay. She actually was discovered on Instagram, and she had no acting experience.
Wow.
And now she's making.
They found her in Florida?
No, they found her through a DM, through her clothing line that she made about positive weed clothing.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit.
There you go. That's the hustle.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about earlier.
The marketing.
There's just a new avenue for the market,
artists,
and this is the thing about business is trying to hold on to that old-fashioned way. and try
I think
to pull.
this is moving it though.
But this is but I think
Now.
it's internet is The
They have social
entrepreneurs
media coordinator. People
entrepreneurs are
work in
rocking.
social media. That's
The
their title.
entrepreneurs are rocking. That's all. I never thought I ever see small companies just taking down big companies.
Yeah.
Because it's stale at the top.
Yeah.
It's stale.
And it's like I love supporting my friends who like sell clothes and things like
Yeah,
that.
me
It's
too.
like
Yeah,
there's a certain pride in it where
I
it's
like
like, yo,
that.
that's my
Yeah.
homie, and
Yeah.
they like
Yeah.
literally like hustling and
Man.
they got quality
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Literally.
Like damn, your thing
Speaking
is
of-
worth looking
Mhm.
at, and it's like why not support something that your homie got that's quality?
I'm gonna
Even-
shout out someone.
You know?
I don't know if you remember Petty Post. He was here a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
He has a
Petty
clothing
Post,
line
yeah.
with
Yeah.
merchandise. Check it out. Also, there's one that I modeled for 2 weeks ago called Astro New York City Clothing, and they're really cool. They remind me of like what's that bathing ape type vibe? Yeah, so check them out.
Since we're in the shout out, I'm going to shout out a couple of people. But first, if anyone wants to call in, please call us in at 917-747-5991. And we want to shout out Otis. Thank you for coming in, channeling in. Anna, thank you for coming in. Stefani, Phil, and Ellie. We want to thank all of y'all for tuning in, and we're going to continue on. And we're going to just wrap this one up.
And then
right
we're gonna
here.
meet
We're gonna be
Goldilocks.
back. And we're going to meet Goldilocks. That's right.
Goldilocks.
Yes.
Oh, y'all wanted to tune in for that.
Thank you.